Hello everybody, this is John Stiles with the VIP Real Estate Group at Bridge Realty. Thanks so much for tuning in to my show, Real Estate Styles. And today I'm pleased to have with me Jennifer Gagne from HMS Home Warranty. Jennifer, thanks for coming in today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you coming in. So we're going to talk about home warranties for our listings. And a lot of times we might think about buying a home warranty if we're buying a house, just to make sure that everything's covered. But today we're going to talk about if you're selling the house, going ahead and providing that home warranty for the buyer so that they don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
So, Jennifer, with that, can you just intro yourself a little bit? How did you get into this company?
Yes, I actually sold real estate for 10 years, and due to a job transfer my husband took, I ended up coming into the warranty industry back in 2011, and I've been here ever since.
Okay, wonderful. So, by the way, you told me earlier what HMS means. Yes. Go ahead and explain that further.
So HMS actually was started about 40 years ago, and HMS stands for Home Marketing Services, and it's because it was originally intended as a listing tool, as a buyer incentive, basically. And so we still have that. That is still a big part of what we do. And seller policies are put on at the time of list. The really nice thing about them is the payment for that is not due until the close. So it can come right out of seller's proceeds. And they also have that coverage. So the seller would have the ability to place claims from the time they list until the close. And then once the close happens, the buyer will get their 1 year of home warranty coverage from that point forward. So it's a really nice tool for sellers. I think one of the best benefits for sellers is really that protection after the close. So when you close on the property, if the range fails or the refrigerator fails very quickly after, you're not getting a call from your agent saying, we just heard from the buyer side and they're saying something failed right away. So those are things that can be claims that you can, I really think the seller's policy is the best way for a seller to make a really nice clean break from the close and let themselves move on to their new place.
Okay. And I would just say that's a really neat feature that the coverage begins at the time of listing or at the time you initiate this, even though the property hasn't sold yet. So there's more than a year of coverage there, depending on how long it's listed for.
Yeah, and payment is not due until the close as well. So it's something that sellers don't have to take care of payment prior to the effectiveness of it, which is nice.
Yeah. So what would be things that this coverage would cover, or the policy would cover or not cover?
Yeah, for sellers, they have different options. So depending on the options they choose, it's basically going to be mechanical components to the home. So examples of plan options for them would be to cover kitchen appliances, cover their furnace and AC system, plumbing, electrical, things like that.
Okay. And then what would be the cost of this? Does it vary depending on the size of the house, or how does it work?
It would vary depending on which deductible plan they want and which option. So I would say it would range from about $359 for their coverage, plus that includes, remember, the buyer's 1 year. So starting there and going up to about $600. And that would be just depending on what options they choose.
Okay. Well, that's pretty reasonable compared to, a lot of the other expenses involved and, what people should hopefully be getting for their net proceeds. This is a small expense. So.
Yeah, and it's a great way too especially if a seller has a little bit older systems in the home, it's a great way to make that a non-issue for the buyer to say, we realize the furnace is 20 years old. Since we don't have age limitations, it's nice for them to be able to say, we're covering you after the close as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think that comes up a lot. If the furnace is working and everything's working, there's not necessarily a reason to replace it, depending on the situation. But if you can provide a warranty after closing, I think that's a really great selling tool there.
Yeah.
So, okay, with that, aside from our sellers going through myself, what's the way that people can get in touch with you if they have further questions?
Sure. I can be reached either on my cell, 612-267-7340, or by email, J for Jennifer, and then my last name, Gagne, @hmsnational.com.
Wonderful. Well, again, I really appreciate you coming in, taking the time to share this valuable information with us. And thank you all for listening. If you learned something today, please do share this out, and let's get the word out about this valuable tool for selling houses. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.